So hello again, this is Jim, aka Scoundrel, working on my rebuild of my Belite Ultracub kit. So I thought today I'd shoot a video and give you kind of a progress check of where I'm at. So at this point I'm following along with the build manual, but since I have some of the new parts that are different from what I originally started with, I've had to do some re-engineering along the way to make things fit. One nice thing is that when I had my crash landing, these skins here, these forward and aft skins for the cross boxes, survived. Well, actually these forward ones were damaged pretty badly. The middle ones were intact, and I had the aft ones redone. Probably could have used what I had. I figured I'd go safe and get new ones made. So that worked out really well for me. These middle ones, saved me some time there. One of the things that's different on the old on the kit that I had, this part of the cabin was about that much taller. So this has been dropped down approximately 3 inches, and as a result it sits right on top of this crossbox, whereas before it had a small post. So minor difference there, nothing terribly tremendous in that regard. This radius is different. So as I've come in now to put this support in here, I think we had a rivet down here. For instance, you can see over on this one there's a rivet that goes through here down into this, so that holds the base in place. So I've done that on both sides here to get that base in. I don't have plans that go with these skins, so I decided I'd go ahead and put in a support here. Makes that part stronger. I like the looks of that. This one was called for, so that's in. In the way my kit was put together, this piece met up right here. Now these skins are made differently. So what I've done now is I put a little 2-inch long bracket with a couple rivets here to hold that in place. This up here will get rivets coming in from the back side, so I'll have at least one rivet there to hold that in place. This piece, at least in the plans I have, was supposed to be cut off to be even with this piece right here. I've extended it in, and my plan is I'm going to make another one of these straps, and I'm going to go an inch or so up this way. I'll go around it and then down. I'm going to have to see what I can do to put a rivet in here. What I might do is make it kind of a T shape so that it sticks out this way a little bit. That way I can get a couple rivets in there. I'm kind of doing this after the fact, making it up as I go, so it's going to be interesting to see what I can accomplish there, but that makes sense to me. I can also get in, since this is only clecoed in place, I can still take that out, rivet it in here where it's hard to get into underneath there. And like I said, this will be where I rivet for the top piece of that strap. I can drill these out and re-rivet down here to hold that strap on the bottom. This is part of the mechanism for folding the wings. So the struts, the jury struts, will come from this, and they'll go out up to hold the wing up that way. The tube that I had, the cross tube that I had before, it wasn't damaged too bad in the accident. I figured I'd go ahead and replace it. So this is per the specs. It's 6160 aluminum, and it's the same wall thickness. And I'm able to reuse these parts that I drilled out before. They're solid, so in really good shape. I've got one marked for right. Obviously the other one here is my left. Don't have to worry about it because I know I have the right side. That's about where I'm at right now. My next step will be going in to start riveting these together. So I'm putting in 3/16 inch rivets there. In the original design, there are landing gear mounts that go here and here on the bottom side of the plane. So these are reinforced with 3/16 inch rivets through here, give that a nice strong hold. I've also done 3/16 inch rivets here. Probably overkill, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So that's, you know, on each of my cross boxes I'll have 3/16 inch rivets. Back here we're going to have, I'll be drilling these rivets out because there's a triangular plate that'll stick out back here, and that's where the tail assembly will attach over that way. So I'll probably drill those out. I might add extra rivets in there to secure that plate, that triangular plate on. So there's a triangular plate here, and there's a triangular plate, oops, underneath here. So they'll both come out and attach there. We'll also have a support plate. No, there's not one on the top, but I think we had one that was going out that way. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, so switching from the traditional gear. So here's the gear from the plane. The one side came out of the accident in good shape. This side is one that came in contact with the tree. So you can see it's kind of banged up. I'd either have to get a new set of gear to replace that, or, you know, make new gear. So an idea I'm working on right now is to make my own fiberglass gear like this. So this is a plan that I've drawn up for myself. I found a website, and I've already mentioned it on my blog. It has a ton of information. It's going to be great for that. So I'm going to go ahead and follow their method to put this gear together. You can see up here, little plan I did design for these pieces down here, because that's where that gear is going to attach. I'll end up with a bolt in here, and I'll have a bolt on the back side down in that plate. Same thing's been done over there. So the gear will attach right here, and this will be the forward, you know, pivot point for the gear. Another gear option they have that's kind of appealing to me is similar to, again, the Piper Cub gear like this. You'll have an attach point here, an attach point here, and instead of having a shock absorber that would mount here in the middle, their method is to have, you know, the gear would be, you know, about this far out, I would guess. Imagine that's down another, you know, 2 feet or so. And then you have a support that comes up to here, right? So it's coming down straight. And there's a shock absorber right here. It's kind of like the Storch, some of the bush planes. There's a number of different, I think the Pilatus Porter actually uses that same kind of a gear assembly. The nice thing about that is it gives you a really good ground clearance. And, you know, I would mount a plate here, and I have to figure out a mechanism for, you know, a structural mount there. So it would look different, change the looks of the plane. I'm already doing that with this gear. So I've got options. If this gear ends up not working, being too heavy, you know, I can swap that around. Let's see. Oh, other things that I found out. So I was not able to get the thin wall tubing. This is the thin wall tubing that comes with the kit. You can see it's pretty light stuff. Not sure where they get that from. So I went ahead and I've got the stuff I can get here in the States. So instead of, I think it was 32 thousandths, this is the 64 thousandths. Heavier, and it says in the plans it can be any alloy. So that's nice. So that's stronger. So all of these cross boxes have a thicker tube. This one's a 3/4 by 3/4. These all are 1 inch by 1 inch. If I do that gear with the mount up here, obviously I'd have to swap this out and reinforce that with a bigger piece of tube. So that would be a project there, but that's going to make my plane heavier. The other thing is that I could only find, here in the States at least, even dimension angles. So this is 3/4 by 3/4. The stuff that came in the kit, I still have some sample pieces here. Let's see. Yeah, you can see this piece. I think it's like 3/4 by 3/8. So it's an odd dimension, and it's relatively thin. So I'm going with heavier stock. I think I'll make a heavier airframe, stronger airframe, but I'm going to have weight problems, guaranteed. I already had weight problems when I started, You know, I had the carbon fiber kit for the wing. I had the aluminum ribs instead of wood. You know, took, you know, about every weight saving option I could get, and I still came in at over 300 pounds. I am running a half VW engine, so that's a 75-80 pound engine. I can cut 40 pounds if I go with like the Polini engine. So that's a good option. I'm considering, you know, a different engine option. But if I just decide, because right now I'm looking at registering, and I'll go with the ELSA, and if I go that route, then I can go with, you know, a bigger engine. I can also go with a 10-gallon gas tank. What I'm looking to do is I have this round gas tank down here. It's a nice spun aluminum tank. But what I'm thinking of doing is, because I had my tank mounted right here once the tail assembly is on, and I can go now with a larger tank. I can go with a 10-gallon tank. So looking at some of the racing tanks that have the foam baffles in them, I think that'll be nice to have, a little more safety. My problem with this tank is that the vent cap didn't work right, so I'm going to have to modify the tank to put a vent in it somehow, a little vent tube of some sort. So instead of doing that, just might sell it and go with a professionally done tank. So there you have it. A lot of different little ideas and options for any of you Belite builders. Things to look at, things to consider. It's interesting, keeping me busy, but I'm really enjoying it. So thanks for watching, and I hope everyone has a good day. This is Jim, aka Scoundrel, and I'll catch you later.